Welcome! E aí, galera, beleza? Bem-vindo à nossa comunidade.
Welcome to our community.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It is OGC here. Welcome to today's video. Today's video is a super special video. We have a great friend of the channel here with us. We're not necessarily going to do a typical interview process with them. Instead, we're just going to get straight to the meat and potatoes, answer the questions that everybody is asking, and their mother. In fact, Chip's mother reached out to me wanting me to send this just to Chip because he needs more help with this. I'm totally kidding. Chip's fine. But we have Taint back on the program, and he's going to explain more about the prisms, the shards, the nods, all the cool stuff, and also give some amazing helpful advice that can really benefit both you and your entire team. So without further ado, let's welcome Taint back.
Hey guys, how you doing?
They're all doing awesome. You're here. So like they're having the best day of their life.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but well, I'll take it.
So, well, welcome back. What was the reaction to the last video where you explained the prisms and shards and everything?
The reaction was pretty good. Everyone seemed to like it. It seemed to help a lot of people, which is the goal. So, I mean, I'm happy about it. I enjoyed it.
That's awesome. So I see we have a bunch of screenshots here. Do you want to walk us through them and explain away, sir?
All right, yeah. So in the first shot, I'm actually you can look at the picture. I'm actually gonna go to my hero so I can see the stats and stuff as I walk through it, highlighted. So on that picture, it's a picture of one of my nodes or my prisms, and I used all of I believe it's number 6 cracked emerald, which is one of the base level stones. It boosts your troop attack and healing efficiency. The top stone doesn't have to be a true or a fine. It can be a base level opaque emerald. It doesn't have to be one of the fancy ones. It does the same thing. But what I did was I put all of them in there like that for 6, ignoring combo bonuses, so I could boost my troops' attack by 24.5% with that one prism.
Wow.
So
that's a lot, man.
Yeah, it's a lot. And I did that also with my other prism, which is at grade 8, and it boosts it by 28.5%.
That's crazy. That's like having multiple +7 temples.
Yeah, so
like the Glon things. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, so by doing that though, it took my troop damage on my archers, for example, from 274 damage. This is without dragon bonuses. To 349k damage.
Wow, that's crazy. So, do you do this for all the situations, or is there only certain times you do this?
So I use regular combos for PvP, but when I'm doing void or raids or like PvE events, I switch to this setup because in those situations, your troop damage matters more than anything else for most cases. Or when I'm loaning troops to other people in my house, I will switch my prisms to this setup. So when I loan these troops, they're super strong.
That is amazing, and that's a true team player right there.
And it's also interesting that when you loan troops to people, when you change your prisms, just like when you change your dragon, those changes will swap. So like you can have your prisms set to like a regular combo, loan troops out, and then switch your prisms to be like this where it's all 6 of the attack stones, and the damage will update on your lone troops.
That's wild.
So, yeah, I tested it with Toppy.
So can I ask you a random question?
Yeah.
Have you thought about going rockin' and then setting this up and then loaning the troops to your allies for PvP?
I have not, because yeah, I mean, I imagine 30% plus all this extra damage would be insane for. Yeah, actually, that would be nuts. That'd be a lot of damage.
Like for their archers and everything. I can only just imagine like shredding it up. Like when the archers get ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know. Just
because I don't know at what, like, when you loan, they get that 30% bonus, but I don't know what that 30% bonus is based off of. If it's off the total or if it's based off of the like base power, and then it applies other buffs after. It kind of depends on where that 30% gets tacked on at.
Yeah, if it's 30% of all the bonuses, then that's crazy.
That would be insane. They'd be like 400k damage crossbows, which would just absolutely destroy everything.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we have we have some new ideas that we have to test out.
Yeah, that would be broken as hell.
So what are the other screenshots that we have here?
Then that was just one of the combos I run that I really like is
Oh,
the
I
devastating
see.
strike.
So
Yeah,
the next one is the troop attack and everything.
the next one shows like the bonus itself is the 24.5%.
Hmm.
Adding all those, you can do the same thing though with the other stones, right? So there's ones that will boost your health for your troops. So if you're trying to do like a stage where 4 heroes matters, you can boost the health on your troops so they live longer. You can do it with hero attack or hero health. You can do it with dragon attack or dragon health. Like the options are pretty wide open to how you can set these up to manipulate your stats on your army and your heroes.
That's so cool. That's awesome. So, uh, do you manually switch it every time, or do you have different sets that you just like rifle through?
I have different sets. So I have 4 sets on each prism. I have one for my PvP, which is where like my normal combos I run. I have one for troop attack, one for troop health, and then one for hero attack.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, and I've like when I siege or whenever we're farming honor, like farming alts, I always switch it over to troop attack because I use lich and I use warlocks, and I get like 1.5 million more wall damage by doing so with my prisms.
That's insane. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's nuts. It's really effective, and a lot of people don't understand. Like I've tried to explain it in chat a few times, and people are like so hung up on wanting to use the combos all the time. It's like the combos are great for PvP. Don't get me wrong; like they're definitely better because they give you more utility and more bonuses spread out, but they're lower. But when you're not fighting people and you're doing other stuff in the game, like you really should be looking at changing your prisms to fit the situation because there's so many options.
And absolutely, and it's kind of like I don't know how true this is overall, but it seems like being a jack of all trades, and until you like hit end game or you're well, being a jack of all trades isn't necessarily the best approach to always take in this game, and kind of like almost focusing on one or two things just to build up on all those bonuses, whether it's like you're starting out and you focus on one or two different researches and you kind of leave the rest low, or when it comes to stacking either attack or health or whatever it looks like. It just seems like for this game, really focusing and compounding all of those bonuses is more beneficial than just being like a quote unquote jack of all trades. I don't know if it's true, but it just seems like that. But with the shards, it definitely seems like that.
Yeah, so in like the earlier stages of the game, when you're lower power, lower temple, and all that stuff, lower research, it's definitely beneficial to be linear. Pick your race that you're going to play and work on those to the point where you get the maxed. And then you can start to spread load and like kind of like expand a little bit, but like you definitely should be linear early on in the game to really focus and be stronger than the people in your core group.
And absolutely, and eventually everything gets maxed out or it gets even. But I love your idea with the prisms and kind of like playing to the situation and kind of getting them to focus on specific things.
And the great thing about prisms is, besides when you focus them and upgrade the prisms themselves, you can pull stones out, put new stones in. You can change them rapidly, however you want, whenever you want. There's no penalty. There's no cooldown. You don't lose anything. Like the prisms are great for that. Like you can literally change them 1,000 times an hour if you want to, and nothing is different other than you changed the bonuses that they give.
That is absolutely wild. I wish Chakra was like that.
That would be broken.
It would be. So I have to ask because I got impatient and I started looking at the other pictures. What's up with this prism setup with like I think it's 42% additional hero attack? That is insane.
Yeah, so that's a true ruby at the top, and that's the devastating strike 7 or whatever combo name they have for it. So it gives the hero 42% more attack, and then its basic attacks deal an additional damage equal to I think it's 1 or 2% true health. So it ignores all damage resistance, all research. It ignores all of that and just straight up does damage equal to their health.
That's insane. That is ridiculous. Is this on your Ophidius or is this on Jax or?
It's on my Rufio.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. So with that 42% extra bonus in Leo's Pride, when I leap in on people and it slams, I think I shared some videos in the OGC chat, and it might be in some of the videos I shared. I'll jump my Rufio in, and it will completely wipe out an entire backside. Like it'll just completely obliterate like full range, including Lich. Like it'll slam, deal the damage, and then the pulse from Leo's Pride will kill them after they res. It's great.
That's unreal. Are you running the 3-piece molten set on Rufio as well?
No, I'm running 2 blink daggers, and like rest like magic boosting gear. I don't have any sets on Rufio.
What? That is wild, and it's working for you clearly. So that's wild.
I view Rufio as a glass cannon. Like if he lives long, get off a blade spin, I'm happy. But like I don't expect him to survive jumping into the back rows usually because there's just so much stuff back there to target him because he becomes the closest and only target for a lot of things to hit. So like him surviving isn't usually something I count on. So I just play him like a glass cannon, jump in to kill certain things, and then if he lives beyond that, it's a bonus.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Um. Oh, okay. So I see the grade 7 prism with the plus 28% troop attack and healing efficiency, and
Yeah, that's my second prism.
oh, grade 8. I'm sorry. Big difference.
Yeah, so it added almost 4% more damage, or like 3.5 or something.
And then what's up with the this one seems crazy too. The increased health and attack of your dragon by 10%, reduce the attack of the enemy dragons by 7%, and increase the attack of your dragon by 7%. Do you run this one too for PvP?
I use this one sometimes. It just kind of depends on how I use this one, and there's another one I use. But this one I liked. It's okay. Like since I have an Onyx Dragon right now that I'm using, it definitely like it kills heroes like outright. It's pretty gross, but because it's 17% more damage.
Which is wild. Do you have fatal blows on your Onyx?
I do.
Oh, geez, I wish I had that. If I could replace Fortitude with that, my dragon would be perfect. But I'm not risking it.
Yeah, not worth the risk.
No, but okay, so that's wild. And then I see. Okay, now I see your archers, the 349,000 attack archers. That's insane, man.
And I don't have the level 7 temple either. If I did, they would way more.
Why don't you have that temple? Just buy runes.
Just buy, like $10,000 in runes. It's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, you got this.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take a picture of the other shard that I use that I also really like. I've been running it on my Balrog, and it usually does crazy work for me. Yeah, there it is. I'll send it to you right now in game.
That's wild though. So random question. Typical PvP, what are your two prisms looking like? You're playing as a human race because human's the only race that actually matters in the game. I'm kidding, they're all actually pretty viable right now. But you're playing as human. What's the two prisms that you're running with an Onyx Dragon?
So the one I sent you a picture of with Rufio, the 42% attack and the true damage, and then I just sent you a picture of the other one that I'm running on my.
Which I'm going to pull up right now.
It's intimidation number 8.
Whoa, that's on Bane.
Balrog.
Oh, Balrog. Wow, that's okay. So pet peeve. Balrog hit a point in time where I could not kill it, and then I got dire archers, and then I could kill Balrog, and that like whole issue of mine disappeared. Now this seems like the most obnoxious thing to put on Balrog imaginable.
Yeah, I definitely know it's probably pissing people off. My Balrog is always the last thing to die. If I lose, my Balrog is always the last thing to die. He stays alive forever.
Yeah, that's insane. Okay, so
Yeah,
that makes sense for your shard selection because both of these are just ridiculous.
yeah. I'll send you a picture of my Balrog. This is how I have my Balrog set up as far as his like items. He's He's a pain in the ass to kill.
Oh, okay. So you have you put the Molten set on him. So do you like the Molten set on him?
Yeah, it's great.
Now, so this is something that comes up, and I think about in when I get bored on my lunch break. This is what I do with my time because I have a cool life. So you have the 10% battery. We have the Snakethorn armor with the Tectonic Axe or the Dragon set for the damage reduction. For Belrog, I always thought that the Snakethorn armor might be better, especially stacking with the tier 13 of the hero research. So what's the determining factor for you for which one to run for your lads?
Well, honestly, it just comes down to like stats. I just don't like the snake form armor because of the low stats that it gives. Like the evasion's nice, but if you're losing stat categories, most of the time, if you're losing those stat like 2 or 3 stat categories, your evasion doesn't matter because your heroes are anyway. It doesn't.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just focused so much on my stats and getting my stats correct on my heroes. Like I don't use stuff that if it has low stat ratios or values, I don't use it because it just doesn't. Like I even sacrifice set bonuses for a lot of my heroes because realistically, if I'm losing my stats, like especially at my core and where I'm at in tower, like losing more than 1 or 2 stats, like if you get triple statted most of the time, and there's rare occasions where you can still win, you're just gonna lose.
That's crazy.
Because we're equal like on everything else. Like we got the same research, we got the same temple, we got everything's the same pretty much, and then it'll come down to whether or not you win certain stat categories. Winning magic is huge because of how strong dragons are. Winning stamina, winning might. Like I lose command all the time because my command's only like 1900, but I've got my other 3 stats well over 3000. So I've got like 31, 22 might, 3005 magic, and like 3050 stamina right now.
That's crazy. So, just because my phone's going to die relatively soon. Um, when it comes to what we have so far is customize your shards for the situation that you're doing. If it's PvP, you can get a cool combo. Go for that, like a game breaking type of combo. Go for that for the void in siege and everything else. Specialize it for your troops. However, what would you recommend to maybe newer players or players that don't have any fine or true shards when it comes to PvP?
I would tell them to, and if they can make a 2 shard combo, that's cool to go for that. But I would actually probably boost their troops for like, especially early in the game, like low levels, like boosting your troops because those are what are doing most of your damage when you're a low level because your heroes aren't that strong yet. They don't do that much damage. Your hero research isn't that high, but your troops are kind of like your go-to when you're low castle, low core, low everything. I'd probably just boost your troops.
Awesome, and then and this is probably more for me than anybody else. I'm sorry, guys. What's your thoughts on the Dragon Mage set? Do you still like that shard combo, or not as much? Does it make a difference because of warlocks, or what's your thoughts on it?
So that I think if you had it really leveled up to where it lasts full amount of time, maybe. But I've noticed like I've fought a couple people who I know have it, and as human, it works. If you're fighting against a human, it works okay. Maybe against Sylph since they're using heroes, but against Lich or like Khan or something, it doesn't really work because if monks are hitting your dragon, they're breaking through that shield because it doesn't give them 100%. It's 95%, and warlocks kill them right through that shit. Warlocks kill right through that shield like it's nothing because your dragon has to be at 10% health, so it's already so low. So by the time it triggers, there's still a huge volley of attacks coming from those warlocks, and it just dies anyways.
Yeah, I ran into that because that's the only shard that I have that's like fine or true. Um, in exactly what you said, the warlocks still shred through it, but against like humans, like it's a godsend. It's really good for that. Do you think it would be a cool update if they had it so that you could change your shard sets in between PvPs? It's kind of like how you can with like your skills and gear sets.
I mean, ideally that would be nice, but like I feel like that's just way too complicated.
True.
And also with that shard that you have, that purple fine, there's some good 6-shard combos that don't involve the dragon that like do stuff for your army that are pretty sweet.
I might have to look at those, especially if I get if I keep getting paired up against Lich. Just because I really think Lich, like the warlocks, are just so strong, and it's so annoying. Like the human archers, once they get a moral boost, are fantastic, but the Lich warlocks, no matter what, their damage to heroes and dragons are just insane.
Well, they deal magic damage for one, which is different than the normal like the damage resistances that you get from stuff is different than magic damage resistance, which a lot of people don't realize. They are two different types of resistance. And then warlocks, their range is insane and their base attack speed is very high. So the fact warlocks are the best race or the best troop for killing dragons, period. And then the fact that they apply poison, like their damage will stack, they reduce your magic resistance when they hit you, like they do a lot of stuff. They're really, really good at killing dragons.
Yeah, it is absolutely nuts. So, Mr. Taint, is there any last words or anything before we wrap up, or anything I missed with the shards, nodes, and everything else?
The top stone, it doesn't matter if it's opaque, fine, or true. They all have the same value of 1% base. So when I say put 6 green stones in there, don't think you can't do that because you don't have a fine or a true. It doesn't matter. The opaque works the same way. The only thing that the fine and the true do is open up new combos. They have the same value.
Gotcha. Okay, I understand now. That's actually really good to know.
And then again, never autofocus. Never autofocus. It's terrible. Don't do it.
Biggest word of advice when it comes to shards: do not
Yes.
autofocus.
Because it will eat your fine and your true shards. If you autofocus the top one and you're not paying attention, if they're not currently used in a combo, like if they're not set in your other prism or something, it will use those to focus your prism. It will eat them.
And that's a bad day.
Yeah, so never autofocus.
Gotcha. Well, Mr. Taint, as always, thank you very much for taking some time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with us at the OGC gaming community, best gaming community of Art of Conquest. Let's go. Thank you very much for coming, man. I appreciate it. I know you got quite the fan base as well. So thank you very much.
You're welcome, man. Have a good one.
Thank you. And for everybody else, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe if you have not already in the description of this video and all videos. There's some really cool stuff like the OGC merch store, because I'm not selling out, but there's some cool merch that I'm trying to sell out of. There is the OGC community Discord. There's so many cool things there. You can like literally type in Void 136 and it will pop up with the YouTube tutorial on how to beat it. You can search for any item just by typing in the name and it will pop up with the stats. It's cool stuff. And finally, we have Patreon. So if you want to further support this channel, feel free to sign up for Patreon. I appreciate it. Until next time, guys, take care and have a wonderful day.